Capital News tonight. President Samia Suluhu Hassan meets with women in Dodoma and calls for their support. Transporters of maize to Kenya at HOROHORO border complain of delays caused by quality testing procedures. And in sports, Tanzania Premier League board confirms Vodacom will not be the Premier League main sponsors. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has warned councillors in the country who are using 10% of council funds for special groups for their own political interests to stop doing so immediately and instead use the funds to support women, youth and people with disabilities. The President said this when speaking to women of Dodoma on behalf of all women in the country, where among other goals she said that as from July this year, the government expects to build one science school for girls in each region.
Lakini maeneo mengi mfuko huu umekuwa ukitumika.
The fund mostly has been used for developing councillors' politics, leaving the amount of money given out to be minimal. For example, a group of 8 to 9 people was given 1 or 1.5 million shillings to be divided among them. How is that amount of money sufficient under the current economical grounds? On the issue of education, women must also benefit from education and science and technological advancements. The government should come up with a good plan of restoring funds that were given out as loans. We shall collaborate with all the ministries because most of the challenges are experienced in all ministries and all sectors. Because of the good number of women in the country, this gives hope in improving economical development.
Drivers and traders transporting various goods, including maize, to Kenya have urged relevant authorities to intervene following delays caused by waiting for quality testing on maize when they cross into Kenya.
Ukifika pale tatizo kule twakaa sana, tulikuwa tunaomba upande wa Kenya.
We're asking if things could be done quickly on the Kenyan side so we don't wait long.
Kwa nini tunasisitiza utaratibu wa kiserikali? Ni kwa sababu mwisho wa siku wale
as a strong institution in the area, everything becomes clear. If they want a laboratory report, we show them. Then they should tell us why maize is not allowed in. In order to allow maize trade between Kenya and Tanzania to thrive, we've decided that TBS comes to the borders to meet maize stakeholders.
Sisi kwa mfano kwenye huu taratibu tunaotumia tunasema zisizidi siku 7.
And the Inspector General of Police, IGP Simon Siro, during a meeting to evaluate challenges and achievements, has said following a one-week operation in Dar es Salaam, they have managed to seize weapons and arrested criminals involved in various crime incidents.
The people of Dar es Salaam have shown cooperation to the police. As a result, we've succeeded to a large extent. A lot of weapons and criminals have been captured. I've spoken to local government chairpersons and ward attendants in Dar es Salaam, and we've had a lot of success. I've instructed RTOs in all regions to conduct an inspection as of tomorrow on all vehicles that are unroadworthy, so various operations are going to be conducted.
Na hiyo operation ni nchi nzima.
As efforts to fix the 48-inch water pipe that burst on Tuesday morning at Victoria area in Dar es Salaam are ongoing, water services are expected to resume at midnight after the problem has been resolved.
Na sababu kubwa ya kupasuka bomba inatokana na matengenezo ya barabara yanavyokwenda.
The main cause is road constructions. It is a big pipe with almost 54 inches that supplies water in Ilala, Mikocheni up to Changombe. The first measure was to shut down the system, while the second measure is to drain out excess water so that the pipe can be fixed. People should expect water full blast from midnight.
Ili kupunguza maji yasiendelee kupotea.
And a few days after residents of Avocado area in Mikocheni, Dar es Salaam, complained of 40-ton lorries instead of 10-ton lorries passing through the road, causing inconvenience to residents, including destruction of road infrastructure, Tanzania Rural and Urban Roads Agency TARURA manager engineer Alberto Kindole has acknowledged the problem and said that action has already been taken against those involved.
Jana nilituma kikosi changu kimeenda pale kimesha assess ile kitu kwa hiyo.
Yesterday I sent a task force there and have assessed the situation. The control number has been issued on the damage that has been caused, but also to inform other road users to report when they see something going on in their streets. Roads must be used according to specified uses. No permits should be issued on lorries with excess weight.
Kisa kabisa barabara.
Cold beverages company Coca-Cola Bonite in Moshi, Kilimanjaro region has donated 5,000 seedlings of various trees, including fruit trees, to Kimashuku village government in Hai district so as to conserve the environment at the village, public institutions, as well as along Weruweru and Kikafu rivers.
On behalf of Bonite Bottlers Management, we've come today to donate 5,000 tree seedlings. This exercise is progressive to protect the environment in Kilimanjaro region. I would like to commend Bonite Bottlers for donating 5,000 trees in order to conserve the environment, particularly water sources. We are grateful to the village council together with Bonite for donating trees. We promise that we will take care of them.
And as the government prepares to table its central budget estimates for the 2021-2022 financial year, some members of parliament have said that they want to see the budget geared towards development of strategic projects, investment on a conducive tax-paying environment, and for the budget to depend more on internal revenue so that implementation can be assured.
Mheshimiwa Rais wetu awamu ya sasa anavyosisitiza kwamba
our president is emphasizing on favorable trade conditions in the country so as to ensure that domestic traders conduct their business activities in a more simplified manner.
Sisi wabunge kama wawakilishi
As members of parliament, we present our citizens' opinions so that we could come up with resolutions that are accurate and effective to our citizens.
Our
president is a good listener, and she has followed all sectors' budgets by giving out regular directives while implementing some within specified time.
And as Tanzania joins the world in marking World Oceans Day, some fishermen in Dar es Salaam have said despite there being various challenges, tuna fish have increased after the government banned illegal fishing, including the use of explosives.
Serikali ilipodhibiti baruti kulileta picha kidogo nzuri ambayo ilikuwa na sisi pia tuna matumaini.
When the government brought to an end the use of explosive fishing, it produced good results, which also made us very hopeful.
Changamoto tena nyingine katika huo uvuvi haramu ambao serikali
There is a time when the government restricts fishing, which results in an increase in the number of fish. We've been looking at women who fish, boat constructors and other businesses and how they can benefit from the value chain. We're reminded to take the needs of fishermen into consideration because life is dependent upon the sea.
Na kuhakikisha kwamba wavuvi wanavua kwa kutumia
nyenzo ambazo ni endelevu.
And that is all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, Bosnian military leader Ratko Mladic has lost an appeal against his convictions for masterminding genocide and other atrocities throughout Bosnia's 1992 to 1995 war. Here is more on the report.
Tuesday's verdict by 5 judges at the UN International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals at The Hague is final and cannot be appealed any further. 26 years after the Srebrenica massacre, the decision brings to a close the last Bosnia genocide trial before the court. The decision to uphold the charges means the 78-year-old will continue to serve out a life sentence in prison.
And the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo started a phased return of residents who fled Goma in the aftermath of a volcanic eruption that destroyed thousands of homes. About 245,000 people remained displaced in nearby towns and villages after Mount Nyiragongo erupted. The active volcano had last erupted in 2002, killing more than 200 people, while last month's eruption killed at least 31.
I'm happy that we've been allowed to return to Goma because we'd suffered so much with hunger. We used to sleep hungry.
Kuna mtu alikimbia wakati balisema watu wote baende lakini.
There is one individual who did not run away with the rest, and today it has ended here. We've had those left behind who are stealing. We're happy to be going back, but we don't know what we're going to eat.
Mulango kunyumba, tunasikia kuna wengi walianza iba milango na madirisha.
Nationals of Burundi have commemorated the first anniversary of the death of former President Pierre Nkurunziza, whereby they have said that they will remember him for his patriotism. The commemoration was also attended by Tanzania's Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango.
He has done well in developing other sectors like sports, building infrastructures, and he was close to his citizens. I shall forever remember our dear President Pierre Nkurunziza.
Tanzania tunaungana nanyi kumkumbuka shujaa wetu.
Tanzanians will forever remember our hero who fought for peace, equality, and unity of Burundians. We are also here to commemorate the marvelous contributions that were made by the late President Pierre Nkurunziza for his country, the East Africa community, and the whole Africa at large.
Ni pia Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.
And that's all for international news. Business news follows after this short break. In business news, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has said that she will consider reviving Tanzania Women Bank if efforts being taken to empower women will continue to have a positive impact.
Katika hili la kukuza mitaji ya wanawake kupitia mikopo, serikali katika awamu ya 4.
On the issue of increased women's capital through loans, the government of the fourth phase government introduced Women's Bank. Unfortunately, it didn't perform well, where later on it was mixed with other bank, which is the postal bank. That is why the bank is doing very well in giving out loans to women.
Kwenye mikopo ya wanawake, wakijua kwamba wanadeni wamemeza benki yetu ndani yao.
National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says that price inflation during the month of May this year remained at 3.3% as it had in April, and that this has been contributed to by an increase and decline in various food and non-food products.
Zilizoongezeka bei kwa mwezi Mei 2021
Some food items that their prices increased in May 2021 comparing to May 2020 includes wheat flour by 4.1%, meat 4.0%, potatoes 7.5%, cassava 4.2%, bananas 2.4%, beans 5.0%, and peas 7.1%. On the other hand, some non-food items that their prices decreased in May 2021 comparing to the prices of May 2020 includes cooking gas by 1.2%.
Zikilinganishwa na bei za mwezi Mei 2020.
Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture, TCCIA, has called on entrepreneurs who export various goods to follow procedures so as to access reliable markets.
Export na namna inavyofanywa, kuna documentation.
We are talking to those who are exporting agricultural produce because there are changes from policies, laws and other regulations from within and outside the country.
Kiachana na wafanyabiashara wapya.
Apart from new traders, there are still some traders who are still facing challenges in identifying markets. The system of Chamber of Commerce, whoever wishes to engage in trade, must contact Chamber of Commerce to seek for suppliers, where most of the time the Chamber has all rightful linkage.
That's all for business news. Sports is next. And now in sports. The Tanzania Premier League Board CEO Almas Kasongo has confirmed that Vodacom have opted out of being the Premier League main sponsor. Here is more on this story.
CEO Mr. Kasongo has confirmed that Vodacom wrote a letter to the board telling them they are stepping down from the mainland main sponsorship due to financial problems. This, however, has come at a good time for the league, as a few weeks ago Azam TV had announced a 10-year partnership with the league board and TFF worth 225 billion shillings.
And Simba Sports Club midfielder Jonas Mkude will be undergoing a medical examination to ascertain his health before possible action is taken against him for skipping training.
The Taifa star was suspended as a result, and recently he was summoned by the disciplinary committee. In January, Mkude was fined by the Wekundu wa Msimbazi after he pleaded for forgiveness after he was found culpable for 3 offences. The first offence was his decision to skip the club's seminar, which was held to discuss the team's targets for the season. His second mistake was reporting late to training ahead of their mainland Premier League match against Coastal Union, with his third mistake being failure to report to camp on December 26, 2020, without permission.
Tanzania mainland Premier League giants Yanga Sports Club and Simba Sports Club are set to clash over the signing of AS Vita right back Juma Shaban.
Wekundu wa Msimbazi were the first side to be linked with the Democratic Republic of Congo defender after he impressed during a CAF Champions League Group A fixture in Kinshasa. Although Simba won 1-0, Shaban's performance caught the eyes of the Tanzanian giants. It was later reported that Simba opted out of the race to sign him when he was injured during a training session with the national team. As Simba's interest warmed, Yanga came along to inquire about his availability and started talks that reached an advanced stage.
Ghana President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has bolstered their quest to convince Chelsea Wenger Callum Hudson-Odoi to switch his international allegiance from England.
Son of Ghanaian immigrants in the United Kingdom, the Wenger is among a host of UK-born players on the radar of the Black Stars. The other targets include Arsenal striker Eddie Nketiah and Brighton and Hove Albion fullback Tariq Lamptey. Champions League winner Hudson-Odoi, who is currently on holiday in Ghana after being snubbed by England for the upcoming European Championship, paid a courtesy call on Akufo-Addo on Monday evening, days after the 20-year-old opened the door for a possible international switch. Hudson-Odoi has 3 senior caps for England, but remains eligible for a switch of national associations, provided he does not add a 4th cap for the 3 Lions.
And Gareth Southgate has warned that England have a lot of work to do before the first game of the Euro 2020, highlighting the defending as a key area that needs improvement.
Getting the better of Austria last week, the Three Lions beat Romania 1-0 on Sunday in their last friendly before the tournament begins. Southgate's team will open their Euro 2020 campaign with a match against Croatia at Wembley on June 13th, and the coach fears they are still not good enough in some aspects. The England boss is open to changing his starting lineup throughout the tournament to accommodate for the strength of their opponents.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.